it's workable but jerkable. Sunday morning, around about 9:30. Got about an hour before we're heading out. There's not a lot of wind in here, but looking at the directional arrows, sort of showing northeasterly breeze. An old fisherman's just said to me, looks a bit lumpy out. The forecast is for about 0.9 on the wave, about 0.7 on swell. In his words, it's workable but jerkable. We're heading up to Royal Keys today. Hartlepool Marina, Ava Grace, over.
Ava Grace, Hartlepool Marina, over.
Yeah, Hartlepool Marina, Ava Grace. If we could have a lockout, please, over.
Logan, Hartlepool Marina, go ahead, over. Logan, Hartlepool Marina. Yeah, I'm just opening the gates now, and we've got Ava Grace locking out as well, over.
I'm going to go in as well.
Hartlepool Marina, over. Seafast on Hartlepool Marina. Sorry, is that orange rib associated with yourself, over? Seafast on Hartlepool Marina, thank you very much, over. Orange rib, Hartlepool Marina, over.
So we had an orange rib running around the marina, which was not under control of the lock. The lockkeeper did not know what their intentions were. And actually they're just dead ahead of me now. So once in the lock we could start to feel the wind a little bit, and it was a little bit stronger down here, and I'm sure it's a lot stronger outside of the gates. once out of the marina and clear of the headland, we could then feel just how choppy conditions were. So grey seas, grey skies, and quite a bit of chop, and unfortunately it was pretty much beam on as well, so we were rocking and rolling a bit, with one or two waves hitting us almost on the bow, just to add to the fun. So we were getting a battering. The conditions were worsening, but still okay. And then all at once, the starboard engine started to fluctuate. And then, whoa, there. It just went. Now, we were about 10 minutes, that's all, away from the halfway point for that day's run. We had to make a decision. Did we carry on? Or did we make the best of it and turn back? Given that this is a historic problem, it's not done it for over 500 miles, but I thought best, and given that the weather was worsening and I knew that the entrance into the Tyne could be tricky, especially on one engine, it was time to turn back. And so I had to look for a spot and try and pick a way through the waves as they were coming in at us, to make the turn. And once we got through this bouncy bit here, I thought, yeah, it looks like something ahead. We can just turn the boat around. Throttling up the port engine, using that thrust to actually push us around as well, we made our spin. But then our problem was that we only had the port engine which was going to be pushing me towards the shoreline. We had the wind which was pushing me towards the shoreline, and we had the wave set which was pushing me towards the shoreline. So it was going to be a battle running back to our home port in Hartlepool. We got a little bit closer to the shoreline than I would normally have liked, but hey, you've just got to do what you can do. Once we rounded the headland, we were sheltered from the worst of the wind and the swell. And then we could call up the marina. We'd already rung ahead just to check that we were okay on time for the tides, which we had plenty of time actually, but they were alerted to our little issue. Next thing I had to turn my mind to, though, was making the entry and mooring up in the lock. I only had one engine and it was the wrong one. So that was going to be fun.
Well done, mate. Home safe.
And so, on our way round to the berth after leaving the lock, whilst we were in nice smooth water, I thought, I'll just try that engine again. And it coughed when I cranked it. It didn't start, but it coughed. So I tried it again, and it coughed a bit more, and then fired up. So I managed to get back into berth on 2 engines, which just goes to show it was fuel pickup. We had plenty of vacuum in the Raycor filter, so as soon as it could clear the blockage, the Raycor filled and allowed the engine to restart. Well, that didn't go to plan. Conditions out there are not good, as you have seen on the video, and well, yeah, we've lost the starboard engine, so we limped back from Seaham back in to Hartlepool Marina. A little bit of fun trying to get it coming in on one engine. That was worrying me. Well, in the end we managed it okay. Strangely enough, as soon as we got inside the marina, I'd just tried the starboard engine and she's fired straight up again. So it's just baffling me at the moment. We just need to sit and think about this a bit more. But this is the first time in 12 months that it's done it, and we've done quite a few miles, quite a bit of running. So let's have a look and see where we go, what needs doing. And so the aftermath of our aborted run out is a big clean down, because we got well and truly splattered, and so Janet's busy. But
that isn't the main reason. The main reason is just come and look down here.
But there's a sort of coffee,
all the way down,
a bit of a coffee stain,
down,
which
and out,
there was some coffee
and
spill,
down on Janet's legs,
and some coffee spill, and it was my coffee cup that said, "I feel seasick." And so we decided that now is the time to replace the tank. The starboard fuel tank clearly had a blockage in it. It's not easy to clean. We've had a number of attempts at cleaning it. So we've bitten the bullet. We've drawn up the tank, sent the design to Tech Tanks, agreed the design, paid the deposit. They've scheduled production for the tank in beginning of July, and then so during July we will be fitting a new fuel tank to the starboard side.